Hi, this is Newell Davis with World Composting, and today is my week 5. That's right, week 5 update for my Bokashi material that I've added in my worm bins. Now, you might be asking, what happened to week 4? Well, unfortunately, I was really sick and I just could not do it. I couldn't make a video. I was out of it. I was sleeping 12 hours a night, and so we had to skip that, and we're here to week 5. So I really think that this is actually starting to turn out pretty well. I have been checking on it a little bit, but it looks like, I think the last time all the material was gone as far as the vegetables and fruit, a lot, or I think it was just corn cobs and meats that we were finding, or shells and bones. So I really think that this is going to be the last time we really do one of these updates. I'm not sure yet. I haven't opened them up, but I think that this might be the last update, and it'll be time to start feeding these bins regular food again. So let's go take a look and see how they're doing. All right, let's start with our bucket here and take a look. So moisture on the top here. Let's just go down in here and start taking a look. A lot of white mold on the sides. That's fine. A little bit moist in here. I probably should have taken the lid off a little bit. These are coffee grounds I added to the top. Oh, worms underneath here. Just turn those over a little bit and break them up. These are a little bit dry, actually. They feel a little dry, but it looks like the worms are digging into them at least. So I'm just going to break those up a little bit. Some nice healthy worms in here, it looks like. So as you can see here, now let's just dig down in here a little bit. More healthy worms. Feels a little bit dry, much drier than I thought it would be. For all the moisture that we saw on top. Oops, just spilled a little bit out of the side there. But there are definitely some big healthy worms in here. Some of them not quite moving quite as much. So it definitely feels like they need some moisture. I'm going to have to add some moisture to this. Alright, you know what I'm going to start doing here? I've got a little bit too much material on the top here. I'm going to put this down on the side here. So we're not overflowing this bucket here quite so much. Alright. Now, I think... Alright, we still got our lobster shell in here. I don't think anything's going on with this thing anytime soon. I mean, it's not going to break down. As far as other materials in here, let's take a look. Let's get further down in here. I'm just really seeing compost and maybe bedding material. Let's keep going. Dig down this side here a little bit. Something right here. Not sure what that is. It's probably the skin of some sort of something that didn't quite break down. So, or maybe that's one of the coffee filters in here still. Well, let's just see. Let's keep digging down here. More worms. You can really see them in there. They're really big and plump. Some of them not moving so much. I think they really need some moisture, but they're all through this material here. So as I said, I'm just going to start moving this to the side. I think actually we might dump this out. I bet this is fine to dump out now. I'm going to just keep emptying this out into this container below. Feels a little bit compacted in here. I'm pulling up chunks of stuff. Another crab shell or lobster shell. Really packed in here in the bottom. No smell though. Maybe a little bit of smell now as I get towards this bottom. Yeah, definitely a little bit of odor down here. But let's keep going here. Well, let's try to dig out this side a little bit too. As I said, I'm moving all this stuff out of here. And I think I might just dump all this in here, so I can kind of monitor the moisture a little better. A little bit of an odor. I think this is a lot of worms in here. So you can see them. I think this is actually a grape stem. So I'll put that over to the side here. starting to get down into the material here on the bottom. It's really compacted in here. This definitely has a aerobic smell to it. You know, it doesn't smell great. So I think this needs a little bit more oxygen. And this is where I'm going to dump this out in here. I'm going to let it move around, spread out a little bit, and hopefully break down a little bit more. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this, actually, hold on, let me grab another glove here. All right, let's dump this out. All right, so the bottom of that newspaper, this still smells. Just so you know, this did not work very well as far as the newspaper in here. I think just caused a blockade. It wasn't really allowing stuff to get through. So this wasn't a very good system. There's still an odor in here. You can tell lots of material that is just still uncomposted in here. So this did not work, this bucket system. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna bury this in this container here and try to get this stuff to break down a little bit more. Because this is definitely rotting food now. It's not been broken down. All right, now pour the rest of this in here. There's still some more in here. As you can see, the newspaper in here is just collapsed at the bottom. Make sure we get all this stuff out of here. All right. So, have some worms on the bottom here as well. Make sure I get those guys off because I don't want them to die in there, dry out. I'm not seeing any in here now, so I'm going to put this off to the side. Now what I might want to do with this, as I said, this kind of smells a little bit. This didn't work out the way I'd hoped. I was hoping that this would sort of neutralize it. It was just going a little bit too slow, I think, especially compared to the other one. I think it contained everything more, but that containment made it where it didn't really break down the stuff. So this doesn't need any food. We're going to continue to monitor this in this container itself and see how it does breaking this down. And I'll have to find a place to put this bucket while I put the lid back on this here. So let me move this bucket out of the way. And this is going to get a lid back on it. I might have to add some more bedding material to this. I'm not sure yet. If it continues to smell as much as it does right now, I will have to add some bedding material. But right now I don't think it needs it. I might, so we'll have to kind of judge this as it goes. I'll probably have to check it out in a little bit. But I'm going to put the lid back on this. We're going to seal this back up as much as possible. There are air holes in this on the side, so it should be okay. And that's our update for our bucket system. Let's go check out the bag. Okay, here's our Vermibag Max. Let's open it up. See if there's a, ooh, wow, a whole lot of fruit flies. I don't think that was a fruit fly that just flew out. But we'll see. We'll just let these guys kind of go here. Not much I can do about them at this point. They will hopefully fly into my little light here that kills them. This feels quite dry. Let me just check here temperature-wise real quick. I'm not feeling any heat, but you know, 66. So it's about the same temperature as my basement. Yeah, a little warmer down here, 69, 71, so a little warmer in there. A lot of fruit flies coming out right now. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of place to put this paper, and I'm surprised there's this many fruit flies when I've got inches of paper on top here. No odor really at all in here. You know, everything seems to be just It's still, here's a bone. Feels pretty solid. Corn cob. Doesn't look like this stuff is breaking down anymore. I think this actually just needs a dose of food in here, really. I don't think that this is, I think that this is gone. I think I need to bring the worms back into this area by adding some food. So I'm going to get some food and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here with a whole bunch of food that I'm going to throw down in this hole. And I think this is done for an experiment. So I'm going to refill this with a bunch of different types of food. Push it all down in here. Some apple cores, broccoli, banana peels, a little bit of lettuce it looks like. But I just need to get these, get this stuff in here. This is all frozen right now, so. And what I'm going to try to do is hopefully get these worms to migrate back up into this bedding material, so that way we can continue this process of having them consume the food that goes in here. So that's my update for this. I think we'll continue to watch the bucket that I dumped into the one of my bins, but I think this one is done. I think this one is perfectly fine now. We're just going to cover this up. Maybe at some point we'll try to get rid of these fruit flies that are in here. I'm going to put this bone back down in there, see if that just breaks down slowly. If not, it'll come out the bottom, and we'll move on from there. So I hope you like this update. If you have any questions, let me know. As far as my thoughts on this, I don't think I would do Bokashi in the house and then put it in my bins that are internal. Maybe outside, but the heat that they generated and all the bugs and the smell, I wouldn't do that in my house again. So that's my final thoughts on that. Let's see if we can finish up with that other system, though, and make it work and get that stuff to start breaking down some more. So that's my update. If you have any questions, let me know, and thank you for watching.